What up, YouTube, YouTube?
What up, YouTube, YouTube?
There you go. So this might be something worthwhile to point out. This guy is what you'd call Devil's Club. It looks, you know, quite a bit like a maple leaf or what have you. The leaves are quite large, but if you look closer, it's just got all kinds of crazy spines on it. And it can be pretty nasty sometimes if you're bushwhacking, because it looks kind of unassuming at first if you're not paying attention, and if you're walking through and you sort of try and moving stuff out of the way, you get all those little guys in you, and take my word for it, it's a real pain in the butt to try and get them all out, and it's very painful. So yeah, keep your eye out for that. It's fairly common in the area that I'm in. I'm on the east coast of Vancouver Island. But I was walking by and I noticed it. I thought it'd be worthwhile to point out a little bit of education, bush education. Just down at the creek. Not doing anything too crazy. To be completely honest, I just got a chest mount for the GoPro because I got sick of having it hanging off the front of my hat, because that got really annoying really quickly. So I'm sort of just testing it out, and I thought I'd come down to this creek and see about finding some cool rocks. I was here a while ago. I found all kinds of cool stuff. I found a big old chunk of red jasper, like a 45-pound chunk of red jasper, some really nice dalasite. I also found some really odd concretions that sort of looked like they look like little flying saucers, like they're about yay big, really round and smooth, and I think they came out of a clay bank down here, so I really want to see if I could find a few more of those. But yeah, I'm gonna keep on walking down the trail and we'll see what we can find, and I'll talk to you guys later on. So right off the bat, we're finding some cool stuff. Come here, you. Big rock with some dalasite in it. Kind of neat. I also saw a neat looking rock right here, actually. So, not sure what that is. Almost maybe a little jaspery or something. But kind of cool. There's a lot of rocks down here that I'm almost certain if you were to cut into them, you'd find some pretty neat looking stuff. I also see down here there's a piece of concretion. So you see these lines all through it. That's what you would call a septarian nodule. It's a concretion with a whole bunch of like calcite veins and stuff like that that have sort of got into the rock and had their way with it. And it's a good sign when you're looking for fossils, because that's essentially how the fossils form, is these things get packed into concretions over long periods of time, and then the biological material sort of withers away and leaves a cast, and then mineral rich water flows through the rock and into that cast. And when you see septarian nodules, you got a concretion with minerals that have seeped into it, which means that that's taken place here. So then you just need to find a concretion that maybe just so happens to had like an ammonite or anything really in it that would have been replaced by minerals, and that's your fossil right there. So what I think I'll do, because it's really easy to accidentally make a really long video, is I'll turn the camera off for a little bit. I'll get some close-ups with my cell phone of some of the cooler stuff, and then I'll throw the camera on once I get a different sort of plan of action. But anyways, I think that's what we'll do, so I'll see you in a bit. Yep. Here we have the maple leaf. You know, compared to that Devil's Club, looks very similar. Nice and smooth. So me walking by, grabbing it and moving it, you know, you can see why that Devil's Club can be a real pain in the butt. So yeah, just keep an eye out and be careful, really. That's all it takes. But anyways, I walked from the clay bank through the bushes down onto another little gravel bar thing. Gonna keep looking for rocks here. Again, I don't want to just leave the... I went on my last creek walk, was like mostly music backed because I just left the camera on. I was thinking I'm some kind of film genius getting them B-rolls, but it ended up just being a whole bunch of empty footage. So I'm gonna try and talk a little bit more, and I'm gonna try and add more like close-ups and stuff like that. Obviously my knowledge about all this stuff, because I'm always just learning as I go, my knowledge is a bit limited. So I feel like if I were to get more close-ups and stuff like that, and people can see it, and a lot of people out there probably know more than I do, so it may be mutually beneficial. But anyways, so where I'm at now here is all of here. I'm gonna adjust that. All of this grass was not here when I was here last. For some reason this year all the foliage is just exploding. So this is actually the area that we found those flying saucer shaped thingamabobs, just like right in here and whatnot. I'll have a walk around and see what I can find. There's a lot of algae that's dried onto the rocks, so they all have that white look of them, which isn't the best for rock hounding, but I'm sure we'll find something. I was just walking along this dry riverbed and came across some nice wildflowers. These guys are beautiful. You see a little bug in there. They're quite tall. They're taller than me. So I'm pretty sure this is a foxglove. Absolutely gorgeous, but another one you sort of got to watch out for. I'm pretty sure this one is super toxic. or poisonous or something of that nature. Whatever the matter, like there are a lot of plants here that are forageable and what have you. This is one of those ones you do not want inside your body. But boy, are they pretty. They come in all kinds of different colors. We've got pink over there, we got purple over here, and a paler purple right there. It's really, really pretty. But yeah, I thought I'd just point that out to you. I'm gonna keep going. It looks like there may be a river blockage, so that might be a problem, but I consider myself a problem solver. So let's figure it out. Okay. We have come to the river blocking. It's really deep right there, so I don't think going up that way is a good decision, especially considering the fact we've got a whole bunch of Devil's Club right there, which leaves us this direction. A little deeper right here as well. So I could probably get through them trees there. I'm sure of it. And we'll see what's on the other side. I hope there's not like a big deep pool on the other side of this, but we'll see. There's a cool piece of dalasite. Those patterns are awesome. And right beside the dalasite, we found this guy. Oh, yeah. Absolutely gorgeous flower stone. Beautiful. So we've reached a good spot here where this bar has been, exposed for a while. Like the water level went down before the algae started to bloom. So these are all really clean. It's a lot easier to see them. They are dry, which makes it difficult, but there's some big old tadpoles in this pool. These frogs must be in hog heaven. Look at these guys. Those are all tadpoles. They're like that big. That startled me. They're getting ready to come onto land. By the looks of it, their body's almost fully formed. They're going to start sprouting legs here soon. It's pretty cool, man. It's a very algae, gross sort of water. I mean, I would not want to swim in this water. But these frogs probably love it. Like, it's so organic, rich in organics. Like, it's got that dark color to it. Here we got a big old clay bank, hey? And a good bar of rocks here. So I'm gonna do what I do best, and I'll see you in a little bit. That's kind of cool. This tree just took a ride with like a bunch of logs from way up there, hey? And this clay's so slippery. Like, look how far that thing came from the bank. Like, if this is shale, it would have just flopped right there. This thing, that would have been a sight to see, I'm sure. Fairly recently too, this grass, it's all alive. Ferns still growing. Pretty cool. Turned it into a jungle quick. Oh, oh yeah, that's some nice patterns. Right on. I just spied it there. What a snipe that is. Oh, I'm really happy with that. That's so cool. I love a nice dalasite. Some of the patterns can just look so cool. Get some close-ups of this bad boy. So this is the not so great side. And that's the nice side. Absolutely beautiful. That one's coming home with me for sure. I like that. Beauty. And there's like a eagle or like a hawk or something. He's stoked too. He's just like, dude, nice. Anyways, yeah, it's turning into a jungle pretty quick. Might mess around a little bit more, but once you get into all this grass, it gets real hot and can turn into some tough traveling. But we'll see. You hear that? That's so cool. Yeah, just to my left here, there's probably some awesome rocks. Just gotta wait for the like spring and whatnot where the water gets real high. You just whoosh, clean all these suckers out of here, and they'll all come back. Then you can see the good stuff. It's just hard to get down this river when the water's high. It's generally something you don't want to do, because you end up in scenarios where you got in but you can't get out, or you got in, you slipped, and then went down with the river. I can see a little gravel bar on the other side. I'm gonna check it out. Should have brought my machete. This is some serious weedage. Here we go. Woo! Of course, what's a cool creek spot without a little bit of garbage? It is what it is. There's like a decent distance upstream. There's a community up there that's just been there for ages. So you can find some pretty crazy stuff. This creek runs right through it. Found car engines, axles. Ooh. So this is sort of like what I was looking for up there. You see how that's almost looking like a flying saucer? It's not super symmetrical like the other ones I've found, and it doesn't have like the ball on top, but that's still pretty cool. That's what we were looking for. It's not a super good one, but it's kind of nice. Yeah, there's lots of nice rocks here, and there's even a nice little gravel bar there for us. I'll get some close-ups of this, and then I'm gonna check this out and go that way. Got some bangers today. That's a pretty nice one too. Get that wet. Yeah, that is pretty nice. I'm a fan of that. Yeah, there's some great rocks down here. I don't think a lot of people come here for rock hounding, so you end up getting some good stuff, right? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this spot so far. Keep moving though. Here's another cool one. Just as I was putting away that nice dalasite, spotted this one. Just that bit was showing. It's a nice piece. Okay. So, can't really go too much further within reason. Got all kinds of algae. It's pretty deep there, and it's, you know, not much better that way. And if I go that way, then I'm gonna run into that big log build up there. Just judging by the amount of algae. I did bring water shoes, but I'm not going in there, man. Forget that. And I also looked at potentially there being like a dry riverbed around that way, cutting through this, but that bush is just too dense and I don't know what's in there, and it's best not to go and interrupt or intrude. So that may be the end of us going deep. Another cute piece of red jasper. But I can always turn around and scan my way back up too. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's start heading out. Came back for the garbage. There's a nice little piece of red jasper waiting for me. This one's got lots and lots of little like spots where air bubbles popped out of it or something. It's very holy and fractury, and I don't think it'd be all that great to cut or what have you, but that color right there is what I really like. Yeah, that's a nice piece. If you can find a solid one, you're on the up and up. So I'll grab this and maybe get a close up of this. It's very hot, sitting in the sun all day. Yeah, look at that color. That's a nice piece. And then as I lean down looking in this algae, check that out. Clean her off a little bit. Some decent patterning on that. It's not bad. I really like the color of this though. But anyways, I don't think I'm gonna bring it with me. I'll leave it for the next guy. I got so much of that stuff. It's crazy. Anyways, let's see you in a bit. All right. Found a spot to just chill. Sat on this log and then it broke. Made me feel real self-conscious. Then I kicked it, realized it's rotten, so haha. But anyways, I am pretty warm. About time I had a little sippy poo of water. This creek does have some really cool stuff. I mean, what's this? Oh, look up here. More flower stone right there, eh? Pretty decent, you know. That side right there is actually quite decent. And yeah, there's all kinds of weird little rocks, right? That one almost looks red. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. I should have come down earlier. Ooh, look at that bag. That's gross. That's yucky. I should have come down earlier in the year, closer to that time before when the water's too high and the water's too low. Because when the water's too low, this algae takes over. All this stuff's all caked with white stuff, so it's hard to see. And the foliage just explodes, and it gets really difficult to get around. Makes things really hot and whatnot, but regardless of all of that, we did find some really nice rocks and what have you. Judging by the amount of like concretions and float shale, I am pretty confident that if I were to go far enough up the river, there should be fossils. I've checked, didn't find anything, but that doesn't mean it's not there. And I did speak with some folks who are also from around here, familiar with this creek, and they said that they're there. It's just really small exposures here and there. But anyways, I think we're gonna start hiking out. I'm gonna take 5, and we'll go from there. I'm almost certainly going to continue to look for rocks all the way back out, so that's, you can rest assured there will be more rocks. I'm just going to take a few minutes underneath this here maple tree and have a little bit of water and then head out. So I'll see you then. Just taking a little rest. I look over. This is what I've been talking about here. That is the UFO things. It almost looks like pottery. It's really neat. That on my way through. Fires are actually banned right now because of how dry it is. We get wildfires like crazy. This whole area sort of turns into a tinder box. In fact, that tree right there, if you look, the inside's all burnt out from a previous forest fire. I got a close up so you can see it a little bit better. So it's like, come on guys, let's use a little bit of common sense here. The only reason I say so is that looks fresh to me. Maybe a couple days. So let's smarten up a little bit, guys. Come on. Check out those, I don't know if you can see it, all of that Devil's Club up there. They get big. Holy crapoly. That was really warm. Back at the trailhead now. We've got quite a bit of neat rocks, as well as quite a bit of garbage. But it is what it is. I'm gonna flip this camera around so you can take a look. Looking at absolutely gorgeous moss on the trees and whatnot. We've even got this little baby tree growing out of an old stump. Absolutely gorgeous spot. Somebody built this bench here. Pretty cool. It's like stained and everything, which is really cool. So we went down river quite a ways. All of this foliage in the sun, you know, it gets hot with all the moisture. It's very humid down here. Going upriver would be a cool thing to do in the future. I have done that in the past and found some pretty awesome stuff. I just never went downriver, so I wanted to do that today. Didn't really know what to do. I just sort of wanted to film. I was testing this guy out. Pretty neat. I'm liking it so far. It's easier, like I can actually have like a normal hat on now. I would have a ball cap and it would be like right on the tip of my hat and it would push down. No. So yeah, I think I'd call it a success. We actually found some cool stuff, which I'm pretty happy with. And got out and about, broke a sweat, got some exercise, so it's on the up and up. I think the next plan of action is to pack up and get the hell out of here. I need a cold drink. I don't know about you. So that's what we're gonna do. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload this week or next week. We will see. But we'll call this like a continuation of like the last rockhounding video sort of thing. I just haven't really felt like doing much fossil hunting videos because I'm a bit overwhelmed with the exposures. I don't like going to the same place all the time. It gets boring. You feel like you're sort of beating a dead horse. It gets picked over, whatever. So I've been trying to find new exposures. And I haven't really found anything that I'm like, oh, I gotta get a video of this. So we'll see how it goes. Once I find a better spot, or maybe I'll give the spots I know a little bit more time to erode, and then I'll get some more fossil videos. But anyways, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.